a couple whose intentions seem suspicious from the very first moment. Today, they're fully geared up to rob a grocery store and they do it, but even after looting everything, Jody isn't satisfied. Her eyes land on a box behind the cashier, and she stubbornly insists on opening it. The cashier pleads with her, saying she won't find what she's looking for in there, and she shouldn't open it. But Jody's greed wins. She opens the box, a gunshot rings out, followed by a blinding flash of light. Suddenly, we cut to a lonely, desolate forest where a terrified girl named Samantha is wandering, weak with hunger. No idea how long she has been alone here. There's no hint of what tragedy led her to this state. All she knows is that she spots a small wooden hut ahead. She rushes inside and finds a bag stuffed with food. Starving, she immediately devours whatever she can grab. But then, footsteps, heavy, getting closer, panic. She hides under the bed just in time as someone enters. The stranger holds an axe, but we never see his face. He picks up his food bag and leaves without a sound. Samantha remains frozen in fear. After a while, she decides she can't stay. She has to escape. But right outside, she bumps straight into the same man. His name is Tom. Instead of hurting her, he unexpectedly decides to help. Samantha apologizes she only took the food because she hasn't eaten in 2 days. Her car broke down earlier, and her husband went to get help from a nearby gas station, but he never returned. Coincidentally, Tom's car also broke down, and he's been stuck here for 3 days. Hearing this, Samantha panics. Her husband might be back by now. Tom goes with her to check, but there's no one. They leave a note and grab some warm clothes from the car before returning to the hut. Night falls, and the temperature drops dangerously. Tom tells her to wrap up in a blanket they found. But Samantha can't stop thinking, why would her husband leave her alone like this? He could have taken her with him. Then she reveals she's pregnant. Maybe that's why he didn't want her to walk too much. Tom tells her to sleep on the bed while he sleeps on the floor. Before sleeping, he gives her some water he collected from a nearby lake. But strangely, the next day, there's no sign of any lake at all. Confusion builds, but for now, they try to rest. Samantha wakes up early after a nightmare, and Tom is gone. Outside, she discovers a girl with white hair lying unconscious. She drags her inside the hut. Meanwhile, Tom is siphoning fuel from his car to put into Samantha's so they can get out of here. The white-haired girl wakes up. It's Jody, the same girl who robbed the grocery store. But how did she end up here? Jody panics at the sight of Samantha, assuming she's dangerous and that this hut belongs to her. Samantha explains everything, but Jody still refuses to trust her and storms out in anger. Just then, 2 gunshots echo through the forest. Tom drops the fuel in shock and calls out, but hears nothing. He returns to the hut and finds Jody there, now calmer. She claims she fought with her boyfriend and he abandoned her here, and now she just wants to go home. But there's no phone anywhere in this endless jungle. Tom agrees she can stay if she helps. The next day, Samantha and Jody finally bond and become friends. But Tom's nightmare continues. No matter which direction he walks, he somehow ends up right back at the hut. That's when he realizes this place isn't normal. He confronts them. Where are we really? Samantha says her husband told her this is New Hampshire. Jody insists it's Dakota. Tom says he was on the road to Los Angeles. Nothing matches. They all finally understand they're trapped in something far more sinister. Tom decides, at sunrise, they'll go as far as possible and try to find help or an escape. But that night, Tom and Jody share the exact same disturbing dream someone is injecting them with something. Samantha, too, suffers a similar nightmare, groaning in pain, as if someone is hurting her. Morning arrives. They pack up and begin trekking again. As they walk, Samantha and Jody open up about their pasts. Jody confesses that her mother died right after giving birth to her, leaving her to grow up in an orphanage. Suddenly, something slams into Jody's leg. She falls hard. A thick bundle of cash spills out of her pocket. Tom, shocked, immediately demands to know where she got so much money. Jody insists it's just her savings that she kept with her boyfriend until he took off and left her alone. Then, Samantha notices what tripped Jody, a metal handle sticking out of the ground. Tom smashes it open with his axe, revealing a hidden German bunker. Inside, they find old war gear and canned food stamped with a Nazi symbol. Samantha explains that her father was a war veteran, so she's seen similar items at home before. Tom brings the cans outside and helps both women climb out. But the nightmare continues. They somehow end up back at the same cabin again. They could have sworn they walked in a straight line. Yet, here they are. Later, over dinner, Samantha and Jody continue talking. Jody finally admits the truth. She steals because she has no education and no other options. Samantha asks to see the stolen money again. She's never seen so much at once. When she examines it, she bursts out laughing. The date stamped on it says 1984. According to Samantha, that's money from the future. But Jody insists she lives in 1984. Samantha, shocked, argues that the current year is 1964. 2 women, same place, but from different timelines. Then Tom joins them, and they ask him the same question. He says he's from 2011. At first, he thinks they're messing with him, but their seriousness tells a different story. Something is terribly wrong with this place. Suddenly, another gunshot outside. They rush out. A strange man stands there holding a gun, shouting angrily in German. They try asking for help, but he doesn't understand them. He orders Tom to drop the axe. Tom obeys. But as soon as he blinks, all three of them are tied up prisoners, and the German man has disappeared. Now they all begin to understand. Maybe this is time travel. Samantha, being from the earliest year, asks Tom if time travel exists in 2011, but he tells her, no, nothing like that has ever been invented. The German soldier returns, cuts Tom loose, only to drag him outside and beat him brutally. He ties him to a tree and goes back in to interrogate the two women. Suddenly, his eyes fix on Jody's locket, and he aggressively demands information about it. Samantha translates the locket belonged to Jody's mother. The soldier explodes with emotion. He shows them his own identical locket, and finds Samantha also has same locket, and that is also her mother's. Inside is a picture of a woman who looks exactly like Samantha's mother. The tension skyrockets. The pieces are connecting horribly. He drags both women outside. Samantha quickly asks Tom if he has a similar locket. He says no. Meanwhile, the German soldier fails to notice that Tom is secretly freeing himself from the ropes. In the next moment, Tom ambushes him, and now the soldier is the one tied up. But even with their captor restrained, the three of them are more shaken than ever, because the truth is starting to spill out. Samantha says the woman in that locket, that's her mother. Tom is stunned. The soldier finally speaks a name. Samantha recognizes it instantly. Anton, her father. And then one more twist. When Samantha asks Jody her birth date, Jody says the 3rd of June, 1964. The exact day Samantha's baby is due. And that baby girl is Jody. The cabin, the forest, the timelines, everything is connected in the most terrifying way. And the truth isn't just shocking. It's about to get even darker. When Samantha learns that her husband actually died in the war, her heart breaks completely. She rushes out of the cabin in tears, but the revelations aren't over. Tom quietly tells Jody another harsh truth. Her mother wasn't innocent, she was a thief. Jody refuses to believe him, saying his mother never had a locket like hers. But Tom says he has the same locket back at his home, he never kept it with him. He explains that his mother and her husband Kevin used to rob gas stations and grocery stores together until the day she murdered Kevin. She was executed for that crime. This shatters Jody. Overwhelmed, she storms out to join Samantha. Now, the whole emotional landscape has changed. Samantha has just realized she's destined to die giving birth, yet she tries to take solace in knowing that her daughter will live on. But Jody reveals a painful truth. Her grandparents abused her, starved her, and she ran away as a child. Hearing that, Samantha breaks down again. She rushes inside and begins freeing the German soldier Anton, who is now Jody's grandfather, explaining everything to him through tears. Tom begs her to stop. Anton is dangerous. But Samantha insists her father would never hurt her, yet the moment he's loose, he grabs his gun and flees into the forest. Samantha then recalls her nightmare again, her death during childbirth, the ambulance arriving too late, her husband away at war. Tom confesses he also had a nightmare. He remembers shooting his abusive father, and then himself. Then Jody reveals hers, reliving her execution. Now all three realize the horrifying truth. They've already seen their own deaths, and this means they still have a chance to change their fates. Tom quickly leads them back to the German bunker. He believes everything started unraveling the moment Anton died in the war, so the key to fixing the timeline is saving him. Samantha says her father died on May 14th in an airstrike in Poland. And today is May 14th, and they are in Poland. It's their chance. Tom comes up with a plan. If Anton survives, he will return home. Samantha won't have to give birth alone. She could be taken to a hospital. She won't die. They rush to find Anton. He's trying to fix a radio, desperate to call home, but it's broken. Samantha warns him about the airstrike. He refuses to listen and bolts. Tom tries to stop him, but chaos strikes. Anton fires his weapon accidentally, and the bullet hits Jody. Anton escapes while Tom and Samantha drag wounded Jody back inside. Now, Tom is terrified. If Jody dies, then he will never exist. He races after Anton, determined to stop him. Meanwhile, Samantha clings to her dying daughter, refusing to let her go. Humans were never meant to see their own past, because then they would try to interfere, and nature always punishes interference. Tom chases Anton through the forest, but no matter where Anton runs, he always circles back to the cabin. Finally, they confront each other. Anton fires multiple shots at Tom, but each bullet passes right through him. Tom is fating his existence tied to Jody's life. As Jody's breath weakens, Tom's body begins to vanish, and then he's gone. Because Jody has died, Samantha snaps. Rage and grief consume her. Her father has doomed not only himself, but generations after him. Anton finally realizes the gravity of everything. But it's too late. Russian planes roar overhead. Bombs begin to fall. Samantha is injured, but Anton carries her into the bunker. Her body, too, begins to fade. Why? Because Anton is alive, he didn't die when he was supposed to. The timeline is repairing itself, but one thing will still remain broken. Everything goes white, and we return to the moment where the film first began. But this time, everything is different. Jody is now wealthy, educated, no crime in her life. She walks out of the grocery store peacefully and sees Kevin nearby flirting with a new girlfriend. Since Jody and Kevin never cross paths, Tom will never be born. Samantha survived childbirth, and in 1964 we see her holding her father's ashes as she pays him a heartfelt farewell. However, the cycle of greed still persists. We return one last time to that grocery store. Kevin's new girlfriend, Amelie, has robbed it. Her eyes land on the same mysterious box. The cashier warns her once that box is opened, nothing can be undone. But she ignores the warning and opens it anyway. A gunshot, a flash of light, and the story ends.